Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to the industry. My name is Kaka, once again, for those who are new here. And today I've been, not just today, but I've been meaning to share something about children and emotional distress. And this is something that is rarely talked about, even by doctors, by us parents, or even, let's say, we are not even aware that emotional distress is real in children. And I thought to myself, it's a Sunday, it's a beautiful Sunday, it's the first Sunday of the month. Happy New Year once again, happy Sunday. I hope you're blessed wherever you are. And for those who are feeling weak, all those who are feeling sick, emotionally, physically, I pray for you today that the Lord shall heal you. Now, about emotional distress in children. So emotional distress in children is so real, it's happening, and we are unaware of it. You know, why you see your child vomiting, complaining of stomach pain, they're so weak, they're crying, they're just like disgusted about everything. And most of the times when we go to the hospitals, the first thing they say is infection. So this happens to Mash. Like 5 years ago, I had no idea, totally no idea. So it was a weekend, and normally on the weekends the specialists don't work, so you end up seeing a general doctor or a general practitioner. So I see all these doctors and no one was understanding exactly what was happening, and most of them were telling me it's an infection, but then an infection that is not getting better. So this kid was literally crawling on the floor. I reached a point and I waited for a specialist. So I went to see Dr. Kasiria at Kampa Children's Clinic. Just in case you don't know where Children's Clinic is, it's on Useful Road. So I get to see him and I'm explaining to him, I don't know what is happening. This child has been on antibiotics and is not getting any better. So he tells me, let's just talk through something. And I'm like, talk about what? So he asks me about his past, what he's been through for the last, like, say 1 year, what is happening at home. And I take him through and he tells me, just go back home. You guys, I was in shock. I tell him, go back home and do what? Then he tells me, let him talk to that person, that one person that is so close to him in his life, or let that person come home just for a day or even for an hour. I'm like, no medicine, no medication, no painkillers. Like, no. We leave the hospital, we get back home, and the good thing is the person who was so close to him is familiar with medical issues. So I tell him what Dr. Kasia told me, and he's like, oh yeah, it happens in children. So he got time, because for him he understood that I was so lucky that the person that was involved in this whole thing knew something to do with emotional distress in children and so on. So he comes home for just like half a day, and trust me guys, Mash got fine. Now that's why it kept I kept thinking, when will I ever share this with the world? I've shared it with a few friends, but then I'm glad that the industry is here and I'm able to share it out with the world. So if your child is going through something and they're not getting any better, first talk to someone, maybe a counselor, or I would recommend a doctor, especially. I would recommend a doctor, because then they can first check if there's something wrong, and if something is not there, then they will understand that it has to do something with the emotional distress. So then you're able to know what you're dealing with. But even before it happens, I want us to be mindful of the environment our children are in, the kind of nannies that they're staying with, the kind of people they're staying with. We have little girls staying with our friends, in the name of our friends, in the name of our relatives, and these children are being abused. I don't mean it in a bad way, but some are being abused emotionally, physically. And then we have those who are staying with nannies and they are being abused. And then we have parents who are not present. I'm not the best at it, but I'm just saying we can be mindful about it, and we know when it happens, then you know what actually you're dealing with. So let's be mindful. If you know something, or if you've gone through the same thing, you can leave your comment in the comment section. There are some who are going through a lot. It may not be just a little children, but also teenagers. They're going through a lot, and most of the times they will throw hints at us. they will say certain words that we don't take serious, and then they reach a point they feel no one understands them, no one is listening to them. So I think when a child makes a statement, even when you don't have time to respond or to think about it in that moment, you can keep it aside and then think through it and then come back to that conversation with a child, so they feel understood, so they feel heard, because there's a lot that is happening that we are not aware of, and our children grow up with all this abuse and feeling not understood, and it affects their adulthood. That's why we have so many adults we are dealing with because of the childhood trauma. So let's be mindful, let's watch out and be there for our children, because no one understands our statements that Mash makes. And sometimes I'm so busy or I'm so tired and I don't want to engage, but I usually find time and I tell him, like, we need to talk. The other day you asked me about something and I was so busy, so we talked through and then I understand where it came from. But again, I don't want to take that credit. I've had several friends I've talked to, like there's one particular person I talked to. Every time I tell him, Mash made this statement, and he tells me, have you understood why he said this and this? Have you gotten time to understand what he's driving at or what his mind is thinking? And it really, really has helped me, because every time he makes a statement, even when I'm busy, I remember what my friend has told me before, that be mindful of when the child asks a question. You need to understand where it's coming from and where it's going. So let me share also with the world the same lesson I took from a friend. I hope it helps someone. So let's not take words lightly from these children. There's something behind it every time they ask a question. So thank you so much for the people that share what they know with the world. You're the real MVPs. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let's share this information with the world. We are not an island. We learn every day, and learning never stops. Thank you once again. I wish you all the best this year. I wish all your children the best holidays. Thank you so much. God bless you.